Judas is the demon I cling to. Dun, 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 dun. I cling to. Let's do this. Jujutsu Kaisen is back with a spin-off continuation manga called Jujutsu Kaisen 3, Modulo. What happened to JJK 2? Fuck you for asking that question. But it may as well be called Bubutsu Bison JJK Next Generations because first of all, I called it, and second of all, you'll see why in just a sec. But I would be doing it a disservice if we didn't at least cover the first chapter. So let's get right into it, starting with the Mojuro Chapter 1 recap. Now, Gege Akutami's new manga takes place in the JJK universe. However, this time, we've got aliens, because everybody knows, if you want to make a great continuation manga, you add aliens. Not only that, there are 50,000 of them. I don't even know if Gege wrote 50,000 words in JJK Chapter 1, and where are they? They're above Nevada. What else is in Nevada? That's right, a casino. You know what else is in a casino? I don't fucking know. You remember Hikari? Yeah, me neither. I used to kind of like the guy. The man dodged Kyoto. The man dodged Shibuya. The man practically dodged Shinjuku. And he's not even mentioned in this chapter. Puh, heavy hitter, suck my cock. Seriously though, what makes Modulo exciting for most people is the inclusion of the old JJK characters. We want to know what happened in universe. Except this time, our protagonists are Yuta Okkotsu's grandchildren. 16-year-old Yuka and 17-year-old Tsurugi. Now they're also Maki's grandchildren, but that's not expanded upon too much because she's already dead at the start of the series. Because, you know, Gege hates women. However, Yuta also dies. He hits the airport, he sees Satoru Gojo, and for the first time in JJK canon, the Gojo clan actually shows up to do something. What do? I'm glad you asked. So Yuta gives his ring with one of the strongest abilities in the JJK universe to his granddaughter, and trusts it to her. And the Gojo clan walks up, for the first time ever, and says, "Dumb bitch, give me that ring," and steals the ring from a 10-year-old girl. I fucking love it here. Gotta love the Gojo clan, man. They know exactly what they're doing. And then we see some random bro gaming with children. He ends up being the antagonist, as you might guess, of the first chapter. So we put the Okkotsu fam on the job. Find the lost children that are being abducted. And also bring this green skin with you. Why the fuck did the alien come with them? He's just floated above Nevada, and then all of a sudden, Usami, who's like one of the only characters that's mentioned in this chapter from JJK, or at least some descendant of him, is like, you have to bring this random dude with you. You two Jujutsu sorcerers, this guy is also allegedly a sorcerer. But then the Okkotsu family does what Yuta would do, and they ditch the immigrant. Let's fucking go, dude. Imagine what Yuta acted like towards those people in Africa. And while xenophobia and racism is really dope in the JJK universe, and it'd be great to end the chapter right here, no. Yuka is an empath. So she comes back, and she gets that damn green skin. Man, just like her grandfather, for real. So the three of them start working together, and they find this suspicious alleyway with a barrier technique attached, and they realize, hey, this is probably how people are kidnapping kids. We should do something about it. Like, put caution tape over this alleyway. And then, of course, as children do, this moron child runs directly into Diddy's hands and disappears. So Tsurugi follows, because he is also a moron child. And then this child trafficker apparently just likes talking to children. I guess that kind of makes sense. And he spills all the beans to Tsurugi, who he knows is a sorcerer. And he's like, "Now sit down, buddy. Let me explain to you everything that's going on right now. And also, by the way, aliens are here." I know. Exposition. And while the child trafficker is talking, of course, he glazes Sukuna. The Inspector General's declared this extraterrestrial invasion as a special grade incident on par with the attack by Ryoma and Sukuna 68 years ago. Dog, 50,000 aliens are as strong as Sukuna in Shinjuku? Are you fucking shitting my asshole, dude? How weak are these aliens? They're like grade 14 curses, man. And then, of course, there's some Gojo and Yuji glaze. Satoru Gojo and Yuji Itadori put a stop to it, but do you know if anyone as extraordinary as them nowadays in Japan? Which is interesting because this kind of means that Gojo failed again. Like, he didn't want anyone to bear the burden of being the strongest. And then they talk about Yuji as though he's a god. That's just how it happens, man. Chosen ones. You know, I really like this panel because it shows the old generation of sorcerers. And I would have included the entire thing, except Nobita's in it, and she was asleep for half the series, and Yuta Okkotsu's in it. And, you know, I've had enough of his dick sucking. So I included Gojo, Yuji, and this kid with black hair. Who that is, you might ask? I don't fucking know. However, Tsurugi is racist also to people without real jobs, which kind of makes me not like him as a character. And while he's captured, then Maru and Yuka bust in. I know. Look at these shocked expressions. This was me when I realized JJK was getting a sequel. With aliens. And after busting in, the siblings end up throwing hands because we all need some comic relief in our Jujutsu Kaisen manga, and Yuka ends up losing. She continues being insecure about being weaker than her brother. She just kind of wants the ring back. So she takes it out on the villain, and they proceed to beat the shit out of him. However, the villain pulls one over on them. And shaking my head, dude. You are not Yuta's grandchildren. Yuta would have seen this coming from like 5 panels ago. Took his pants off, used his cum shot of 7,000 miles per hour, killed the villain, and saved the world again. But since Yuta's not here, Maru is. And he's actually the solo king. He opens his third eye and he like one-shots the guy. End of chapter. And there you have it, that's the chapter recap. So now we can start talking about the characters and what the chapter means overall. Starting with the aliens. It should come as no surprise that they ducked the great Jujutsu jumping. These guys had all the time in the world with their high-tech spacecrafts to come to Earth. But no, they had to wait for Gojo, Sukuda, Yuta, Maki, all to die. Yuji's probably fucking off because he doesn't want to be a Jujutsu sorcerer just to land. With 50,000 of them to fight the sorcerers. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? These guys suck cock. No wonder Mojuro's gonna be only a 6-month issue. They're gonna beat them all in like fucking one fight. I know I've already mentioned this, but I cannot drive this point home enough. They land as soon as Yuta dies. Oh, Yuta cannot stop winning. He's the goldenest child, under the goldenest of showers of Gege. He has the happiest ending. He has canonically had sex. He has canonically had multiple people interested in him. He was inside Satoru Gojo. It's not even funny anymore, man. Overall, though, the aliens are filthy greeners who can use Jujutsu. But if we had our favorite racists, Gojo and Geto here, this would have been over pretty quickly. Maru is definitely a good guy. I don't see how people can be saying that he's going to be evil. I think that he is going to be one of the protagonists alongside the Okkotsu family. And if Sukuna is an alien, I am personally grabbing Gege's sphincter and dealing with this the hard way. Because Sukuna's characterization was part of it was him being human. That was so important and central to his character. So if Gege ends up having Sukuna be like a fucking time-traveling alien from the past or the future coming to Earth, the fallen one from the stars, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna do some heinous, vile shit. And then we move on to Yuta. There's really not too much to be said, so I'm just gonna leave this here for one moment. Then we move on to his grandchild, Yuka. She seems okay. She seems promising. I do like a female protagonist when they're well written. Not that Gege has really shown a lot of that ability, but hey, you know, you live and you learn. She uses the Hinata fighting style technique, which is interesting to me because not only does she apparently have claws when she uses the Jujutsu technique, but also I think that she'd be more far ranged. I know that sorcerers are also close range, but I thought that the heavily restricted Tsurugi would be more of the close range and upfront fighter, and she would be like blasts and support. But no, I'm kind of glad to see that. And her goal seems to be getting the ring back, which is interesting, but we really can't say too much about her. It's only been one chapter, and the serialization isn't going to be too long. And then we've got her brother, Tsurugi. I think he's low-key bummy, man. Like, honestly, he did not impress me at all. Like, okay, he has like, it's not even a tragic backstory, but people think I'm weak. Dog, you're related to fucking Megumi. No shit. Also, I don't feel bad for you. What's weird, though, is that he has a little bit of cursed energy, as said by the child trafficker, and he also has a heavenly restriction, so maybe there's something going on with the ring that he has from Yuta. And you'd think that they'd have cursed energy guns in like 2099, but they're still using fucking katanas. I mean, creativity, Gege. Now, of the old cast in JJK, Megumi probably died fighting a grade 3 curse, and Yuji is one of the great sorcerers of his era. My goat cannot stop winning. However, I do feel like a gun was put to Gege's head, and his editor was like, you better fucking write something good about Yuji, or you're not getting this serialization. Because as we know, Gege would never do this. However, I do have a theory that Yuji will show up to solo 49,998 of the aliens. Why -2? Well, one of them is obviously Maru, who's going to be a protagonist, but this perfectly leads me into a theory. Now, as some of you might know, I graduated from Leland Stanford Junior University, and using my computer science degree, I put something into an algorithm, something that no one else has noticed. If you take Modulo Chapter 1, you take some of the letters, take them out, put some other letters in, and then rearrange the order completely, you actually get Gojo is on the ship. I know. Ain't no way you guys stop believing. Not when the real life Satoru Gojo was before you all of this time. Now some of you might be asking, why aliens? Seriously. In JJK, this was the only way we could figure out to continue the story? No, it's just, wouldn't it be funny if aliens showed up? So in conclusion, what can we say about Modulo Chapter 1? The aliens ducked the fade, man. I mean, I'd be looking like that too. If you realize that you're a fraud as soon as you touch down onto Earth, bruh. And this is when the sorcerers are supposed to be weakest. Gege is still slurping up Yuta. The man cannot stop losing. I'm low-key starting to get angry. I was angry before at the Perpetual Glaze, but it's even worse now. The chapter was okay. I think it remains to be seen. There's really not too much to talk. I feel like there's going to be a lot of agenda push, but let me say, honestly, right now, it is going to be tough to capture lightning in a bottle the same way that Jujutsu Kaisen did in Mojudo. So temper expectations. I personally have high hopes, but I'm not expecting a lot. And then the Boruto angle definitely does have people worried, and I think that's fair and totally okay, but I think we just need to give it some time and realize that this is also separate from JJK. Gege made some mistakes by the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, but as it went on, it was one of the most fun things that I've experienced in my anime manga watching time. So just remember, Mojudo is different than Boruto, and it is different than JJK. But ultimately, the world is legitimately ass after Gojo. Fucking based. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know what you thought of the chapter. Let me know what you thought of the characters, if you're expecting anything, if you're going to continue reading it. And as far as making videos on this channel about Mojudo, the jury's still out. I honestly don't plan on making this as long a series as JJK because I never wanted this channel to be solely about JJK, and at one point I felt very pigeonholed into only doing that. I have a goal for this channel to make a genuine variety nicheless channel with a community that is just here to have fun and be entertained. Be that through Mojudo or JJK or endless other videos that I make all the time. What I'm trying to say is that I still love JJK, I'll probably read Mojudo, I still love anime and manga, but I mean, there's so much fun stuff that we've been doing. So go check out other videos on the channel. We have a whole library of variety content, something for everyone. We're making YouTube as fun as possible again. You know, not Mr. Beastifying it. We're Luca Levying it. Who's up Luca-ing their Levy? Yeah. Let me know what else you want to see, any games to play, series to cover, real world things to do, community discussions. Drop all that in the comments down below, and until next time, I love you. Real life Satoru Gojo is out. You're looking stellar today.